start the long and dreaded Malorum thoughts video. Why have I put this off for so long? I don't even know. But hello everyone, my name is Mr. Clarda, and welcome back to the video. Now today, as you can see by the title and my reaction at the start of the video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on Malorum. Before we start the video, just remember that this is my opinion. So don't go in the comments and send me death threats because you don't agree with what I'm saying. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and if you disagree with me, that is fine. Just, don't attack me. Not nice. I think we're going to start off with why I've been dreading to make this video, and I think the reason why is because I make other videos. Other videos that I do enjoy. I don't always have to make, a My Thoughts video, and even though I am quite late to it, like extremely late, it took me a little while to beat the boss battle because the boss battle was quite hard, which I'll get to a bit sooner. But, Malorum was a good map. It was good, it was, fun, it was annoying, it was good, I can't hate it, I can't complain with the map. But let's start off by talking about, the whole map itself, the atmosphere, the whole vibes. Jesus fucking H Christ, this map was absolutely beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful maps that we have got ever. I mean, for starters, you're in space, and we haven't had a space map since Moon, which is so crazy to think of, by the way. And not only that, you see Saturn and, the whole galaxy and all that shit. It is so beautiful. It really is. And I think it's quite cool that, we're on a massive ass floating skull as well. I thought that was quite cool as well. And not only that, when you proceed through the Easter egg steps, you get to Mars as well. And you have like the Shangri-La type feel as well, which I think is absolutely amazing to have. Honestly, just a beautiful map. This map is really beautiful in every way. Aesthetics wise, honestly, but on beauty wise, 10 out of 10. It's honestly up there as the most beautiful maps of all times. The map kind of gave me Revelation vibes, with the big floating ball in the air. It was really beautiful, I will admit. Malorum, I've said this so many times already in the video, is a very beautiful map. That's what I gotta say. The map, define the map by one word: beauty. Moving on to a brand new enemy type, which is Astra. Yeah, that can fuck off. Jesus Christ, that is such a joke. Why is a mini boss like that so hard to kill? It is such a joke. He can spawn out round one if, you timed your ways of doing the Easter egg correctly. That's how he's just so annoying. Oh my god. Here's the thing, right? I would rather, sorry I'm speaking so loud, I would rather fight off 5 Panzers in Origins at round 8 than deal with that fucking thing with Pack-a-Punch tier 3 shit at round 13. Not a chance. He's a pain in the arse, an absolute joke. One of his abilities, he can shoot like this red disc at you, and if it hits you, all the zombies around you move at like round 50 zombie speed. And that is a joke. I feel like the guy should get nerfed to the point where he either doesn't have a shield, which is, a thing that you can actually have as well. He can have a shield, why not? But I feel like they should nerf him to the point where, he had, a deduction on health, like a 30 or 50% HP deduction. Maybe remove his shield, or remove that shooting ability, because he is generally such a pain in the arse. And the whole Easter egg steps, you have to use him so many times, it's stupid. The new wonder weapon, I will admit, is pretty cool, I will admit. It's weak, but it's a really cool wonder weapon. I will admit on that, it's a really cool wonder weapon. When you inspect it, you have like this little alien that waves at you, which I thought was really cool and really funny to see. Honestly, it's funny, The gun is really cool and all, the looks-wise is amazing. And I generally thought it was going to be really good, because it kind of reminds me, a gun out of Zombies in Spaceland in a way. That's what the gun reminds me of. And I just kind of wish, that the gun was a bit more stronger. I don't know, maybe have more damage, or maybe shoot another UFO out, because it shoots UFOs, which I thought was really cool. But like I said already, the gun's really weak, which is not the best in my personal opinion. The Easter egg steps, you know what? because I died so many times to the boss battle, which I will get to very shortly, the Easter egg steps became a bit more easier to do. And like I said with Oscar, a lot of the Easter egg steps require him, which I just didn't like, you know, if that's, you know, getting the Wonder Weapon, or getting, you know, the codes, or, you know, trying to get to Mars, you have another Oscar that shoots out discs that will destroy the portal. I think, you know, they use Oscar way too much, and it really annoyed me because, like I said already, he's got to be one of the worst mini-bosses. Surely, he is such a pain in the ass, and I wouldn't even count him as a mini-boss, because he's that powerful, he could be counted as a boss itself. So, honestly, a lot of the steps do require, you know, him, and I thought, you know, the Easter egg steps were going to be a bit more harder, and when I was watching Mr. Waffle Waffle's guide, I did get a little confused with some steps, especially the last bit, you know, when you go put in that, you know, 5 code to activate boss battle. I was really confused on that as well, but honestly, the boss, you know, the Easter egg steps itself isn't really that bad. I mean, I managed to get them done by round 17, which, you know, that's me obviously using Gobblegums, which I don't use, by the way. I just, you know, got annoyed, but I keep dying with the boss battle, so I just kind of started using Gobblegums to cheat my way, because, you know, I can't be arsed. So, I mean, it's easy if you know what you're doing. And looking back, after, you know, beating the boss battle, like, I think 3 weeks ago, I probably still know how to do the Easter egg, not gonna lie. Moving on to the boss battle itself, yeah, I mean, Phase 1 can be annoying in the final bit, because, you know, he has that green gas that he puts down, and then, you know, he has that laser beam that shoots at you constantly. You know, he can be annoying sometimes, I would admit, but Stage 1 is relatively easy. Stage 2 is a piss joke. Stage 3, I feel like I could probably beat him, you know, with my eyes closed, drunk, hammered, on crack, on everything else. And then Stage 4, what the fuck are they doing? Stage 1 is like, you know, here, can be difficult sometimes. Stage 2 is like here. Stage 3 is like there. And Stage 4 is up here. You can't even see me, that's how hard it is. I tried literally everything in the book. I tried assault rifles at first. Didn't get me far whatsoever. Didn't really want to, but I did the Wonder Weapon cheese. That didn't work as well. I tried pistols. I tried everything, right? And the one thing, the one gun that managed to kill it is a fucking shotgun, which I think is a joke in itself. So I'm standing here believing that a shotgun can beat the boss, while literally everything that I mentioned, an assault rifle with good range, a pistol that does a fuck ton of damage, and a Wonder Weapon that shoots lasers, can't beat it, but a flimsy little shotgun can. That is a joke. I died at least 30 times, which I think is a joke, you know. Some people, you know, say that the boss battle, you know, takes 2, maybe 5 attempts to do. Bullshit! It took me 30! I don't know if, you know, I'm shit at the game now, or they put fucking heroin before the boss battle into him. I don't know. I struggled so much. He is so fast when he throws down his woks and it puts in that, like, purple lightning ring. It's annoying. Everything is just annoying. I hated the boss battle so much. And when I completed it, I screamed so loud. I almost got a noise complaint from my neighbours. Oh my, it was so painful. All of that for what? Fucking a calling card, 5k XP, and a fucking Nikolai skin I'm never gonna use. I actually watched Mr. T-Lexify's video on his thoughts on Astra Malorum. And you know what? He raises a great point on Astra Malorum because he mentioned that it's quite similar to the Tomb. And I will admit, you know, Easter egg steps and boss battle wise as well, it kind of resembles the Tomb. And that's something I am agreeing on. There are a few positives for Astra Malorum. For starters, they finally brought back Avenged Sevenfold. If you don't know me, Avenged Sevenfold is my favourite metal band of all time. And they finally brought them back, which they haven't had an Avenged Sevenfold song, I think, since Origins, actually. Or Black Ops 2 as a whole, which is surprising, you know, and I'm so glad that we got, you know, them back as well, because I love Avenged Sevenfold, and I will admit this: the Avenged Sevenfold song isn't amazing. I will admit, which is weird because I like Avenged Sevenfold, but it's quite nice that we got them back as well. Another positive is the Wonder Weapon. Like I said, it's quite poor, but I love the Wonder Weapon design a lot. And another thing is, of course, you know, the whole atmosphere of the Astra Malorum as well. You know, again, beautiful map. Love it so much that we're in space. And the negatives: boss battle, the stupid TED trials. Also, a thing that actually ruined Astra Malorum for me a lot was that stupid event they had on. You know, kill a zombie, that's 1 point. Kill Oscar, that's 100 points. Do the Easter egg, that's 5,000 points. Do, you know, a TED trial, that's 50 points. You know, I managed to get the really cool camo, but Jesus Christ, if there is an event like that, it generally ruins the map for me a lot. Because, you know, I'm rushing, you know, killing zombies. I'm not even focusing doing the Easter egg because I just want to kill the zombies, get enough points to actually stay in the top 5. That is how stressful it was, and I hated it so much that they did that. I don't know why they did that, and it really ruined Astra Malorum for me a lot, because if that wasn't the case, that wasn't, you know, that event wasn't a part of Astra Malorum, I would enjoy Astra Malorum a lot. And you can see how pissed off I am because I'm stumbling with my words. I can't say anything whatsoever. That's how annoying it was. If that event never happened, I would probably say that Astra Malorum is a great map. But no, I'm burned out from Astra Malorum because of that stupid event. Other than that, if I have to give Astra Malorum a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I gotta give it like a 6.8 out of 10, and it's probably like, I would say, a B or a C tier map. You know, it's not bad. I'll sometimes go back to it if I'm ever on Black Ops 7. I can't hate it, you know, it's a good map. You know, there are some negatives, like I mentioned, you know, Oscar, the boss battle, the Easter egg, the annoying task with the Wonder Weapon stuff. Haven't mentioned that, but the Wonder Weapon stuff you get to get the Wonder Weapon can be a little bit annoying sometimes, but I don't really mind it. I mean, you have to use Oscar a lot, and you kind of have to babysit Oscar as well, you know, kind of like walking a very slow dog in a way. But, you know, there are some negatives of Astra Malorum, but there's also some positives. That's why it's like a B or a C tier map. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, and if you agree with me, then consider subscribing and helps out a massive ton. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!